Hey guys, so we are in Unit 4, Lesson 1. This one's talking about running a business and some things you need to know before you run a business. So they give you a little scenario that you have a small business of selling fresh grown flowers on your family farm. You sell flowers at the farmer's market, their local florist. You really enjoy this, and you've learned that you could actually buy a piece of property. And you could also buy a van to transport your flowers. But to expand your business, you're going to have a loan. So that's something that we're going to learn, and that's where you're going to have to go to the bank and get some money. But the bank's not just going to hand you over money. You're going to have a business plan, which you're going to learn how to make, financial records, and well organized information. So you need to get your records in order and fast because you don't want that land to sell. So this is why, just a small example of why it's so important to keep great records of all of your finances, everything you do in business. Even in farming, especially in farming, paperwork is super, super important. It's not the most fun or enjoyable part of any job, but it's one of the most important ones. And organization just is hand in hand. So it says your records, paperwork, and financial papers need to be in order. There are several different ways to start a business, but these are some simple guidelines that you need to have. So the first is market research. And so that's where maybe you come up with a great idea for a product or a service. Say you're going to start your floral business. The first thing you need to do is prove that, that business is going to work. So that's researching within your markets, maybe testing the waters. That could be just locally asking your community if they'd be interested in your business, maybe doing some research at other businesses, figuring out if it's worth the startup. So first you research, then you draw up a business plan. So that's a really important part. It's a formal document, and it shows your business strategy, your goals of the business, how you're going to move forward in the business, how you're going to market, and your financial projections. So like if you've ever watched Shark Tank, that's what they do kind of in their little skit. They do a very quick business plan and they pitch it to the sharks, right? So that's what a business plan is. You're telling me what your business is going to be, what are your goals, how are you going to expand, how are you going to advertise it, and what is it going to do? Funding. So the next is how are you going to pay for it? So are you going to have to are you going to pay for it yourself? Are you going to have an investor, a parent, or a friend or somebody that's going to give you the money for a piece of the pie, basically? Or will you have to go to a bank and get a loan? Next, laws and regulations. You need to understand any laws or regulations that have to do with your business. Are you going to need any licensing? If you're starting a fertilizer business where you're going to spray fertilizer, you probably need to have your license to buy that fertilizer, right? So certain things to look at there. Then business registration and licensing. So there's several different types of company registrations. There's a lot of steps to start a business. You need to get a tax ID number. It's like a social security number, but for your company. So this is really important. This is how you can track your taxes and take control of that. And then the final steps, only after completing those steps, is set up, and that's where you start getting your area, you lease or you buy your land, maybe you're doing a farm, office supplies, equipment, and you start your marketing, and you can actually start your business. But